Hello, welcome again. Now let us continue further. Okay. Now let us discuss something about types of adsorption. Now based on magnitude of attractive forces between adsorbate and adsorbent, adsorption is classified into two types. Now as we have discussed that what kind of attraction is there between the paper and the pencil. Depending upon the kind of attraction, they are going to be two types. First one, physical adsorption, which is also known as physisorption or van der Waal adsorption. Second one, chemical adsorption or chemisorption, or you can say activated adsorption. Now without wasting time, let us go in a detail about this. So this is the distinguish between physisorption and chemisorption. I have placed physical and chemical because they are totally dependent on physical nature and chemical nature. Now the first point is in physisorption, it is caused due to van der Waals forces. The attraction between adsorbate and adsorbent is a van der Waal force, a weak van der Waal force. Now in case of chemisorption, between adsorbate and adsorbent, there is a formation of a chemical bond takes place between adsorbate and adsorbent. Then in physisorption, it is non-specific. You cannot specify where the adsorption is going to take place. Specific place is not given. Whereas in chemisorption, it is highly specific, oriented. Physisorption is reversible. Once you adsorb, they can easily desorb. Chemical, it is irreversible. Once they get adsorbed, it is very difficult to desorb again. You have to go again for some kind of process and then only they can be desorbed. In physisorption, formation of multi-layer is take place. Means surface on that one molecule, on that another molecule, another molecule. So multi-layer of adsorbate can take place, whereas in chemisorption only unilayer is formed, because as chemical reaction, chemical bond takes place between the two surface adsorbate and adsorbent, therefore there is possibility, maximum possibility will be only unilayer. Then physisorption is a fast process, instant, spontaneous. Rather chemisorption is usually slow, it takes some time. Then in physisorption, if the temperature is low, adsorption is favored, whereas in chemisorption, high temperature increases the rate of adsorption. Generally, heat of adsorption is less than 40 kilojoule per mole in case of physisorption, whereas in case of chemisorption, it lies between 40 to 400 kilojoule per mole, as what we were talking about heats of adsorption. The amount of heat required when evolved when 1 mole is adsorbed on the adsorbent. The activation energy required for physisorption is generally low, whereas the activation energy required in case of chemisorption is high. Now what is activation energy? Delta E. That there is always a transition phase, and that transition phase energy is always called as what? Activation energy. You might have learned this in detail. So these are the major differences between physisorption and chemisorption. Now what do you mean by adsorption isotherm? Now you all have, I think you have drawn graphs last year for your chemical kinetics experiment. Now when this particular event is expressed in the form of graphs, then you say it is an isotherm. So what we say, how we can define is a graphical curve which gives the amount of relationship between there are two axes, x-axis and y-axis. Amount of substance adsorbed per unit mass of adsorbent at equilibrium pressure and constant temperature. We have to keep the pressure at equilibrium constant and temperature also constant. So whatever is the amount of substance adsorbed on the adsorbate per unit mass, so that is an adsorption isotherm. let us see, suppose this is an x-axis, this is the y-axis. So x upon m on the x-axis, pressure on the y-axis, x-axis. Now the scientist Brunner made a study of adsorption of various gases on different adsorbents at different temperature. Now he was the one who invented this adsorption isotherm, or rather stated, we can represent in the form of graph. What is x? Mass of adsorbate adsorbed. M is the mass of adsorbent and P is the pressure of adsorbate. Now on the x-axis you can see x upon m, and on the y-axis, it's rather y-axis x upon m, and on the x-axis P. So again I am correcting, on the y-axis it is x upon m, and on the x-axis it is P. Now there are different types of adsorption isotherm, x upon m against P. So this is one type of adsorption isotherm, which is also a particular type of adsorption named as Langmuir isotherm, which is a typical example of chemisorption. Formation of a monolayer takes place, and pressure, it accounts on the effect of pressure on adsorption of gas on the surface of adsorbent. As you can see, initially it is 0, it goes on increasing, and after sometimes it becomes constant. It means formation of one layer is completed, and you can or there is no chance of another molecule or another layer forming. So that is why this is a type 1. Let us go to type 2. Now this is a type 2. In this type 2 you can see an initial curve, again it is a bit constant, and again it increases. So what is this kind? It is a multi-layered physical adsorption on non-porous material. The point Q represents transition point where the formation of unilayer is complete and a given value of pressure. So what is the example? Nitrogen on silica gel. Now here formation of multi-layer is taking place. The first layer is completed at Q, you can see a bit plateau like there, and after that again the another layer formation takes place. Okay, this is the third one. Now it is a curve graph. Again the y-axis, x-axis remains the same, x upon m and P. It represents the case of multi-layered physical adsorption over porous adsorbent even before the formation of monolayer. Now the last example was what? One complete layer is formed and then the another is getting formed. Now here what is the case? Here without forming the one layer, formation of second layer started. Means on some surface some part is covered with one layer, their second layer starts forming, leaving one other side or somewhere empty. So this is called as what? Type 3 adsorption and multi-layered physical adsorption. Bromine over silica gel, this is an example. Okay, now you can see this is a different curvature, you can see like a wave. What does it represent? It is a case of saturation in the multi-layered region of adsorption at high pressure accompanied by capillary condensation. It happens at porous material, that is benzene on ferric oxide. Now initially you can see the graph is increasing, then again at a plateau type. Now what does it means? One layer is formed, again it decreases. It means what? Simultaneously formation of multi-layer and somewhere or the other desorption is also taking place. That is what it is called as capillary condensation. So formation of multi-layer and simultaneously desorption taking place. So this is the fourth type of adsorption isotherm. Okay, here is the fifth type. These isotherm represent the case of formation of multi-molecular layer at relatively low pressure and high pressure, a saturation point is reached, that is adsorption of water vapor on charcoal. Now, if you keep the pressure very low or very high, then such kind of adsorption isotherm is possible, and a very good example is water vapor on charcoal. Okay, now I think this is a very detailed part up to this. Instead of going much long, I think I should stop here and we'll continue further.